Look at these contentious cats, primed for battle.
Yes, doctor? Oh my gosh. Too soon, Chief fan? Oh wait.
Very proper and British.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, and those of all respective genders, and welcome to the November 10th edition of Ames Tonight. Here in Studio 171, I am your co-host, Andreas Haffar.
And I'm your co-host, Laurel Feakes. As always, thank you for tuning in. We love you. We love that you love us, and I'm sure that you love that we love that you love us. Keep up, folks.
And then reports today that the governing body of the U.S. Soccer, Youth U.S. Soccer rather, has prohibited the use of your head. This now limits players even more to just using their legs to score. Or, if you're lucky, your hands. It works sometimes, but you know how it goes. Now, many parents and officials are concerned that the use of the head can potentially cause severe damage to the brain and skull. However, it also reports that heading is not the leading cause of concussions in the beautiful game. Then what the hell is? Headbutts? Overzealous goal celebrations? I don't know. Now, a study by co-author Sarah K. Fields, an associate professor of communication at the University of Colorado, Denver, says, if we can enforce the rules and minimize player-to-player contact, that could get rid of 60% of concussions. Plus, that would reduce other injuries. Now, she's got a point. I mean, after all, a sudden gust of wind, tripping over one's legs, those are already alarming occurrences. But player-to-player contact? Yikes. Even the slightest touch from an opponent can cause a soccer player to collapse in agonizing misery, especially if they're in the penalty box. It's a really, really dangerous and injury-prone zone. Sorry, kids. Save your diving headers for when you're older. Or don't. But this report fails to consider one other thing. Protecting your delicates. Mr. Referee, tear down that wall. I love that picture.
Speaking of U.S. soccer, the U.S. women's national team were honorees at the Glamour Women of the Year Gala last night. That's right, Carly Lloyd and co. were at the event held in New York. This summer, the national team won their third World Cup, previous years being 1991 and 1999. The girls were not favorites to win the prestigious cup, but came out on top over Japan at 5-2. Recently, President Obama said that these women have shown that to play like a girl means you're a badass. The World Cup superstars were able to take a picture with Woman of the Year Caitlyn Jenner. However, Jenner wasn't the only star that the team got to take a picture with. Defender Julie Johnson posted a picture to her Instagram account of her, Heather O'Reilly, Kristen Press, Jill Ellis, and Sophia Bush. The 2014 NWSL Rookie of the Year captioned the picture, Sophia Bush and the Gals. I'm sorry, JJ, but I think that you meant to put Sophia Bush in the goals!
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, it's that time of season. Or you could easily be fooled into believing that if you've seen the countless commercials, the sales going on, and the holiday lights that are already emerging, going as far back as Halloween. I mean, every year, it's getting earlier and earlier.
I know. Well, you can't complain about there being earlier sales, and you shouldn't.
I mean, yeah, but how early is too early? I mean, I'm going to start off by asking, where are the Hanukkah and Kwanzaa advertisements? Are you telling me, wait, are you going to tell me they're going to wait until it's a more appropriate time to hype up the celebrations? Like when, like December? Yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? I mean, after all, Kwanzaa, you know, the week-long celebration of African-American culture is on December 26th, you know, day after Christmas. And Hanukkah can range from late November to December, so they have just about every right to start getting ready for the festivities. However, it's as if there are no holidays before Christmas. Now, what's going on here? I mean, what forces are responsible for the not-so-subtle, premature fiasco? Now, it's clear to me who's responsible for this. Yeah, it's John Lewis and the John Lewis Partnership. The United Kingdom chain of department stores and supermarkets across the pond, you know, they've already released a handful of adverts, long ones, mind you, including a heartfelt #ManOnTheMood one. You know, I get it though. I've solved it. The UK isn't that far from the North Pole, right? So they're watching Santa Claus, making sure everyone is working tirelessly so they can make a buck. Sure, John Lewis will price match items for you because they're already making a profit from the slave labor of the elves. Talk about outsourcing. Or we can attribute it to global warming. Now, the world is black and white. It's either that or it's global warming, one way or another.
All right, let's back up here. I don't think that's exactly what's happening. However, the effects of an earlier holiday season are becoming more evident. Something destructive is creeping into our lives. Thanksgiving is clearly being shafted. Perhaps Donald Trump's small business loan of only $1 million from Papa Fred Trump has left people unthankful for anything these days. Turkey Tom, you know, that lovable Thanksgiving mascot, is being ousted and treated unfairly. Now he's just a sandwich at Jimmy John's. The overeager holiday sales and the early demand for gifts will explain Santa Claus's work schedule. It's not just John Lewis, it's children too. The dude is getting older and he's supposed to work more hours? Sure, he only worked 1 day out of the week in the past, but are we really going to stretch it to a day and a half or 2 days? You know who this will infuriate most? Mrs. Claus. If Santa is home late for Christmas dinner, she's going to have a fit and rage throw him down a chimney. She drinks a lot. Who knows what'll happen? But you know, Black Friday isn't even Black Friday anymore. It's like Gray Wednesday or post-dinner anti-gluttony Thursday. At this rate, New Year's Eve will be on December 28th. Valentine's Day will be in September, and Christmas will literally be in July. It'll be chaos. It'll be anarchy. It's Target and Toys R Us who are to blame. Mobsters Jerry the Giraffe and that Target dog who got that red eye problem, they're behind this.
Well, okay. For once in my life, I'll be the devil's advocate. Perhaps people just want to enjoy the holidays a little more, you know? It only comes once a year.
Yes, but maybe it's becoming more commercialized than anything. Money doesn't equal happiness, even if it's the big retailers getting the money.
Yeah, well, okay, Laurel. Look, I was on my relic when you were talking about whatever you're talking about. Sorry, I was paying attention.
Oh.
But I found an interesting article in Time Money.
Are you gonna talk about that, or?
Well,
nah.
Yeah, okay. I guess I have no choice. No, okay, fine,
All
fine.
right.
So, Time Money, as I was gonna say, published an article this morning titled "Stores Realize It's Dumb to Open Earlier and Earlier on Thanksgiving," and say that Thanksgiving shopping might have reached its peak. Now, while the Thursday trend is still going down, stores like Staples and H&M aren't opening their doors on Turkey Day. REI, or Recreation Equipment Inc., they said they're not even going to open their doors on Thanksgiving or Viernes Negro. Both move. Now, you know why it's really dumb to keep the opening up your shop that early? Disgruntled workers. There is nothing more displeasing than a bitter employee who's been forced out of his or her home just so you can buy an overpriced coffee maker, even though you know damn well you're going to go to Starbucks every day anyway. Keep that in mind.
We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We've got the nightly news coming up for you. You're watching Ames Tonight.
Welcome back. I'm Matt Banwart, and in case you didn't notice, yes, I am doing No Shave November.
I'm Taylor Claybon, and this is your nightly news.
Hanson died this week. He was famous for playing Leatherface in the 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. However, I'm still a little bit skeptic about his death. I mean, seriously, this man's come back from the dead more times than Kenny.
Earlier today, Cyclones for Bernie were at a Chick-fil-A for their Fight for 15 rally. Cyclones for Bernie is an on-campus organization for students who support Bernie Sanders for president. Fight for 15 is a movement to raise the national minimum wage to a living wage of $15 an hour. Many people are against raising the minimum wage because they believe that minimum wage jobs are only for teenagers with no experience. The same people that are living in their parents' basements because they only have minimum wage jobs.
A bunch of football players from Kansas City High School made headlines this week when they got caught trading girls from their school's nude pictures. Officials said they were having a contest seeing who could get the most nudes on their phone. After weeks of investigation, officers are still trying to find out who won. BlackBerry's new phone, the Priv, came out last Friday. The Priv is believed to be BlackBerry's last phone we'll ever release. That must be so heartbreaking for all 5 living BlackBerry users.
Suzy Cortez is a lovely Brazilian woman with a bottom that came out on top. Brazil is famous for all of the amazing booties, and Cortez was the 2015 winner of the Miss Bum Bum pageant. The 26-year-old fitness model had to beat out 500 other booties to win the coveted title. Some Brazilian women take so much pride in their bottoms, they actually have them insured. It makes sense because for these women, their butts really are their moneymakers, with all due respect.
This week, CNN named Denver America's best beer town because apparently being home of the Rocky Mountain High just wasn't enough. Speaking of the munchies, Campbell's is officially changing its chicken noodle soup recipe from 30 ingredients to 20 ingredients. Some of the ingredients that they're taking out include onion and celery. What the hell, Campbell's? Andy Warhol didn't die for this.
It looks like Jason Aldean's kind of party means dressing up in blackface for Halloween. Aldean dressed up as Lil Wayne for Halloween, and a photo of the controversial costume was posted on social media. While the country singer didn't post the photo himself, it made its rounds on Twitter. Social media users were upset. However, this is not the first time that this has happened. The Dancing with the Stars alumna, Julianne Hough, dressed up like Crazy Eyes from Orange is the New Black in 2013.
Last Sunday in Mississippi, a 50 by 600 foot sinkhole stalled 15 customers' cars in an IHOP parking lot. I honestly don't know which is more impressive, the giant sinkhole or the fact there's 15 paying customers in an IHOP. Then again, nothing says welcome to the South like sinkholes and pancakes.
A London bus driver was filmed while naked on the top floor of his empty double-decker bus. Apparently, the incident happened in the middle of the day for the entire street to see, according to one source. Mohammed pulled out his mobile phone and began recording the scene. So my question for viewers is, which one is more disturbing? A man naked in the streets of London or a man deciding to record it?
Stay tuned after the break for Common Man's movie review.
And Annie and T. Wanks will give you a dope report around the nation. You're watching Ames Tonight.
Welcome back. I'm Jared Calvert, and this is the Common Man's Movie Review. Last Thursday, the 24th official James Bond movie, Spectre, was released in theaters, and after swooning over Bond films for a month, my spy movie watching journey came to its end. Now, I actually saw the movie twice in Cinemark 12 right here in Ames. That's right, twice. The first time I watched the movie, I made the mistake of comparing it to Skyfall. That was a true mistake because Skyfall is a movie that will always be at the highest level of awesomeness, gawking down at the previous Bond films and the Bond films to come. So, I watched it again. This time looking for how good or bad Spectre is on its own. So, after 2 views, here's my take on the latest 007 movie directed by Sam Mendes. Warning, the following review may be more spoiled than an only child. The film starts in Mexico at a Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead parade. Daniel Craig is dressed for the occasion on a personal mission to kill Marco Sciarra, played by Alessandro Cremona. After destroying a couple of buildings and doing a couple whoop-de-doos in a helicopter, Bond stole the ring off the guy's hand and kicked him out of the helicopter. Insert Sam Smith's Writing on the Wall theme song now. 007 finds out that the ring is a gang token for a secret criminal organization headed by the mysterious villainy guy, aka Christoph Waltz. Of course, Bond found this out by being romantic with the wife of the guy he killed earlier. So James goes to a meeting wearing his new ring and sees his foster brother, aka Christoph Waltz, as well as Dave Bautista killing a guy with his metal thumbnails. The rest of the film involves Daniel Craig finding his Bond girl, finding out the true name of Christoph Waltz's character, and of course, explosions. Oh, and the very end of the movie, like after the credits, we are told that James Bond will return. This movie is in no way as good as Skyfall, but what this movie does is bring back classic elements from the Connery, and yes, even the Roger Moore films, presenting a true Bond film in the 21st century. Early parts of the film include humorous interactions between 007 and M, played by Ralph Fiennes, and Q, played by Ben Whishaw. The middle part of the film drags a little bit, but then after finding Christoph Waltz's secret extravagant facility, viewers see a white fluffy cat. That's right, Waltz is actually playing Ernst Blofeld, the Joker of James Bond villains. From there, the movie had my attention, and the ending was a typical extravagant James Bond ending. James got the girl, Blofeld is still alive for future movies, and the classic Aston Martin DB5 car is restored. Not a bad film, Sam Mendes. Not bad at all. With my Bond film journey coming to a close, this week I returned to Netflix to truck through episodes of That 70s Show. This has been a Common Man's Movie Review. I'm Jared Calvert, and I'm just a common man in an uncommon land. Annie?
Good evening, Jared. Good evening, Ames. I'm Annie Harmon. The University of Missouri's President Tim Wolf stepped down from the office amid the current protest on the university's campus. Racial tension in and around the university has been boiling around for some time now, and student protests from multiple outlets have forced the hand of action. Our own Taylor Mankle is on scene in Columbia. Taylor?
That's right, Annie. I am here on the University of Missouri's campus. That is here in Columbia, Missouri. And obviously, tensions are high, to say the least, here, as you see some crazy stuff going on in Missouri. It's daytime while it's nighttime where you guys are. I'll tell you what, that's not the craziest thing that happened, though. Obviously, this scandal has become nationwide news. But where did it start? I'll tell you where it started. Racial slurs were being passed around campus. You can still hear murmurs of those stories today, but the big display started with feces. That's right, poop. Poop started all this as a swastika was smeared in poop. What is going on in this world? I went to a place, Columbia, Missouri, because of poop. Racism and poop. Apparently they're connected. So I'm here after the day that the president and the chancellor were pushed out of office. They say they resigned, but it was obviously a push after the great protest to talk to you guys.
Wow, tension must be high. How are the students taking the protesting? Are classes being affected?
Well, classes have been skipped for the last couple days, Annie. Obviously, a lot of things going on, a lot of good reasons to skip class and a lot of bad reasons to skip class too. But the biggest thing that happened today was there was this big ring of tents and stuff in the middle of campus. I'm looking at it now here in Columbia, and there was another ring surrounding it with people holding hands in chains, and I obviously was intrigued by this. So I go up to it, try to hold hands with the people. They wouldn't allow it. I tried to go in there, get the story with my camera. They wouldn't allow it. Am I disappointed at this? Yes, but I feel more like I'm just a kindergartner again, stuck out of the cool table.
Thank you, Taylor, for that riveting story. In other news, an independent study conducted by the World Anti-Doping Agency has reported some serious allegations regarding the Russian athletics program. The report denounced Russia had state-sponsored doping programs. Wait, and from what I'm getting in right now, I'm hearing that our on-scene correspondent is Taylor Mankle in Moscow?
Yep, I'm here. I'll tell you what, it was quite a trip via bike to Moscow, but I made it. We're broadcasting from Russia here, and obviously some stuff's going on. Sports, a lot of tension going around the Russian Federation, especially within the sports hemisphere here, as doping has been reported to be supported by the state. That means that the state is paying athletes to be illegal. And in this same report, it says that Russia is basically cheating. So it really is pretty a common occurrence that we hear, but you know, I thought I'd travel over to Moscow to give you guys the full story.
Taylor, what can you tell us about the hundreds of samples destroyed before the WAD team inspected the facilities?
Well, I can tell you one thing. I could use some water. Yeah, water. Water. No, not steroids. Water. Okay, thank you. Is there steroids in this? One sec. Yep, that's steroids. That's steroids, straight up. And that's what I'm talking about right here. You see, obviously these samples were destroyed for a reason. There's something in the water here in Russia, and I'll tell you what, they did not only destroy the samples before the tests were made. I can still taste the steroids. It's pure steroids, of course. But even after the tests were made, they destroyed the rest of the samples. And to say it's suspicious is a very, very low understatement.
Taylor, have they sent you to the gulags yet for your lack of personality?
I'm not going to lie to you, Annie. I can't say they have, and I can't say they haven't. Obviously, a man of my stature, an American, telling the truth, it's not well received here in Russia. I'm going to try to get out, though. We'll see.
All right, for our last story tonight, prosecutors have charged 3 men relating to the largest cyber attack of financial firms in U.S. history. The attacks took place from 2012 to 2015 and attacked institutions from J.P. Morgan to Fidelity. And now it seems that our very own Taylor Mankle is on the scene in the internet. Wait, what? Wait, what? What am I getting in right now? I'm sorry, folks. We're having a little bit of areas.
I'm in it.
Oh, you made it.
I made it. It's the internet. As you can see, it's quite a place I'm in. Don't ask me how I got here. I had to pay off quite a few Russians. Regardless, a lot of stuff going on here in the internet. You hear things, you see things going by you. Do you understand them? I don't. Obviously not the most qualified person to be here, but I'll tell you what, this seemed like the place to be for this story.
Taylor, from your current location in the internet, what exactly sort of charges are these men going to be looking at? Also, how will the American people be affected by the attack?
Well, I haven't learned much while here in the internet, but I did learn that these 3 people who are being charged will face serious, serious time in jail. That is obvious. But the question remains, does it stop the problem? Millions and millions of Americans have already been affected and will probably be affected in the future, as this is not an isolated incident. And hopefully, the federal agency who cracked down on these three can find more.
Lastly, we're going to turn to our poll for tonight, our questionnaire from the American people. The American people would like to know, Taylor, how are you managing to be on scene for all of these stories? We want to know, are you the greatest on-scene correspondent the world has ever seen?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. Not many on-scene correspondents get to surf the web. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much. That's all we have for tonight.
My question is, Mankle, really quick here.
Yeah.
The internet, the place where you seem to be at the internet right now,
Absolutely.
It actually seems to be moving really slow. Like, it seems to be moving still. Like, can we go back to Mankle, please, for just a minute? It looks like it's standing still right there.
Yes, that is correct.
Are you in the Iowa State Wi-Fi network right now? Like, which network are you in that it is at a standstill?
I'll tell you what, Jared. I am not in the Iowa State's Wi-Fi. I'm actually in the Russian Federation's Wi-Fi. Obviously, a lot of corruption. Things come to a halt quite often. But, need I remind you, I had a lot of steroids just recently. So I'm pumping. Right now, and I'm going so fast, things seem to be going slow around me. I'll tell you what, I'm pretty hyped right this instant.
How fast would it take you to get to the Chinese internet service?
How fast would it take me to get to the Chinese internet? That is a great question, my friend Jared. About 3 seconds.
All right. That's all we have for tonight. Thank you, Annie.
Yeah, thank you, Jared.
And have a great night, Ames.
You stay classy and a little trashy, Ames.